Welcome back, and today we're doing a slightly different one, and it's a top 9, I think it is, top 9 structures in the game. This is obviously Middle-earth mod for the people who haven't been here before. So some of the top ones might confuse you a little bit, but when we get to the top 1, 2 and 3 it'll make sense. So we're rating them on 3 levels: easy to find, loot, and how cool they are. This one is quite difficult to find. Its loot is average, but I think it's really cool. So here you get a free armor stand, Morroth. Get traders. So you get traders, you get blocks. Nothing in that chest. You get traders, you get blocks, you get literally everything in these camps. And they're really cool because they're in like a nomad. They're nomad camps. So if you're travelling through the desert, you might be able to come across one of these. This is the main one. You can hire troops from this one. I'm trying to avoid the main settlements, so there won't be any massive cities in this. There'll be a couple of smaller settlements like this, but no massive cities. Okay, so in terms of rareness, I'm going to give it a 7 rareness. In terms of loot, I'm going to give that a 3. And in terms of coolness, I'm going to give it a 7. So it's a solid 1. Now, this you might have thought spawned naturally, but no. I actually put this a bit too far close to this one, but we'll cross that bridge. So this might be really weird to everyone, because you find these everywhere. They're called Rudolph Castles. Now, they're not that interesting, but if you do like the lore, it means there's been massive settlements before, and they're really good ways to get your equipment up. Look at that, that's amazing. I put nothing in these. So in terms of easy to find, I'm giving this a 10. So rarity, it's a 0. But easy to find a 10. I'm not sure which way I'm doing that. And loot, I'm going to give it an 8. And coolness, I'm going to give it a 5, but it could probably go up to 6 depending on which one you find. Because it depends if you're intrigued with the lore. So, number 3, we have a Barrow down. So, these are very easy to find. Their loot is okay, but they are really cool. So, if you click on this one, you will get a Barrow raid. Now, these guys in survival are pretty scary, but in creative, obviously I can't die. And here you get some pretty good stuff actually, armor and swords and everything. So, the main factor of this is that it's called raiding barrows. And most people get a bit scared by these. I think I did as well when I did mine. If you ever saw that video, it's called ghost busting, I think. It obviously does this weird haze around you. So I'm going to have to kill this guy. But in rarity, I think I'm going to give it... See, this is difficult rarity because in the Barrow Downs, it's not rare at all. But everywhere else, it's impossible to find. So I'm going to give it a 5 in both cases because I don't know how to do it, to be honest. I'm not sure whether it would... There we go. I'm not sure whether it makes any sense. So now we have an Elven Ruin. I'll tell you the exact name, which is Underwater Elven Ruin. I'm not sure where you find these. Oh, actually, we need to do the... So, rarity 5, loot 7, coolness 7. So it's a solid building that. Here. I've never found one of these in survival. I'm not sure where they are. But they give some pretty amazing loot. Mithril Nugget. This legendary, that's pretty good. So this is just interesting. I find it really cool that it's an underwater ruin. I'm not going to spend too much time on this because it doesn't need too much time. So I'm going to give this a 8 in rarity The loot, I'm going to give it a 7 because there's not that many chests, and I'm going to give it a 6 in coolness, or interestingness. So they are quite interesting, but they're not incredible. Now this, if you saw my playthrough, I come to one of these. Where are we now? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 5. Now if you come into these, you will go down here and get a decent chest of true silver. And look, that's incredible armor. So the loot in here is actually pretty good. So it's worth finding them, especially because you get now forges, and you can obviously get trades and stuff. But I think they're just really interesting buildings, and they're really good base hideouts if you're going to want a base. So rarity, they're actually quite rare, but not incredibly rare. So I'm going to give it a 6. In terms of loot, I'm actually going to give this an 8 because it's so useful if you want to get armor and weapons. Not particularly expensive stuff, but really useful. And coolness, I'm going to give this a 6. It's nothing special in the grand scheme of things. Now this, not many people know about it. I didn't know about it till recently. It is Corsair hideout. You will find them here in the Corsair coasts. Difficult to find, but you'll get there eventually. I want to make a base here. I think that'd be cool. So you'll find these in the big mountains, and they're really interesting and cool places to be. So you obviously get the weapons, harpoon, axe, harpoon. So that, to begin with, is a solid mount. Let's just check out. I have to do these guys. Gondor soldier. So you'll find a slaver here. Slav here, which is basically a work hand. But the coolest thing about this is just the fact that it's a hideout. If you ever played Bannerlord, these are, to me, feel very much like the bandit hideouts. And I just like the way they're set up. They're really built well, and you get some decent loot. I found better loot than this before. This is pretty average, but I think they look really cool. So rarity 8, loot 7, cool interestingness 10. I'm going to give this a 10 because I like it so much. Now you'd probably expect this to be here. It's the Harad pyramid. Yes. So I've cleared it out a little bit. So these are really cool. Obviously I have the Eye of Sauron. If you dig into around here, you will find a spawner. Right, I can't find it, but we can probably do that in a second. So you'll go in here. I just did a chest a second ago. And you'll find there should have been one there, but I moved the stuff into here. So a lot of gold. And look at that, really good armor and weapons. This is some of the best weapons and armor you can get in the game. And you'll get these guys who spawn. Obviously diamonds are incredibly rare, but they're not useful in this mod. Then you'll find these burials and money. So these are pretty good in terms of loot. Not the best though. And here obviously you'll find a spawner. That should have been a chest. And if you go above this spawner here, in the middle there should be another spawner. Here. I got a golden ring here. So there's the spawner. It's all quite cool in here. I got so close, didn't see it. Really cool. And if you're going to go to any of the deserts, try and find these along with the next one, which is an ancient Harad fortress. these were going to be my top, but then the top one is always there. It's always the best. It's got incredible loot. If you look at that, that's really good loot. Here as well, loads of diamonds and stuff. Better than the pyramid, I think, and less difficult to go through. I'm going to give these guys a rating in a second before I do one, because I forgot to do that. And this 301 chest, that's incredible. So, rating for this one, the pyramid, I'm going to give, what should I rate? So what is it? It's easy to find, I'm going to give us 8. So rarity is 8. Loot, I'm going to give 9. And interesting or coolness, I'm going to give a 9. This one, rarity is a bit more than that, so this is a 9. Loot 10. Interestingness, it's not as interesting, it's not Ruined Fortress, is it? So I'm going to give this an interesting of 8. So now, the final one you can probably see, and if you've played the mod or anything, and gone to I can't say it, you will know it's the pyramid. This I have a whole video on in itself. It's not a great video, but I have one. So you'll go in here, so I won't go over it too much. After you manage to destroy the flag, you'll be able to go here. So in survival, you can't mine any of these blocks because there's a flag down there protecting it. So you have to go through here, and there is a maze here. It's annoying, but you'll have to do it. Then, on the next level, there is another maze. This again is very annoying, but just stick to the left-hand wall, and you'll be able to do it. And next level is an even wider maze. That's basically what it is, it's just a really wide maze. It will have blowguns and blow darts everywhere. So you're not going to be careful, just stick to the left wall again, don't go down these. I tried that in my survival, you die. But this will bring you down. There should be one here, yep, here we go. This is the way you get down from the second maze. You'll be able to find every now and again, and from up here it will look like this. See now, you got some actual parkour, which you have to do. So, because you can't mine any of these blocks, you have to parkour through this. It's not a difficult parkour, of course, but in survival, you can't get back here unless you do the whole thing again. So your stuff will go, no matter what. In the middle, you can mine this, and now you can mine every block in the place. So here, you will get some pretty decent stuff, to be honest. Not the one before, but some incredible stuff. And in most cases, you will get a horn, which you didn't get here. So, this is actually a really bad one compared to most of them. But, in most cases, you will get a harad or trithrium, horn of, like, invasion horn, and you will also get, most likely, loads of blow darts and significant amount of like golden trithrium armor. So with this one, I'm going to give it a rarity. It's incredibly rare, so I'm going to give it a 10. In terms of loot, I'm going to give it a 9 because it's not as good as that one, but I feel like it is similar to that one if you get a good one. And in terms of interesting or coolness, I'm going to give it a 10. So next video, hopefully, if I can get it to work, will be a tier list. Oh, something's about to crash. Will hopefully be a tier list for the factions, if I can get that working. If not, it'll probably be another playthrough. Alright, so see you then, and hope you enjoyed this video. Let's try and get it on 15 exactly.